give you all my strength and all my time. You can have everything that's mine.
Boo, 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 boo. Check.
I'm broken.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. I definitely have to turn this music off, though. Later, I'll get muted. No music during the actual boost. Just testing the systems out. If I don't see you sooner, I'll see you at 7.
All my heart. Take me to that higher place. Shine a light into this space. So that I can see your face. I pray for grace. May we open up these gates. Grace. Take me to that higher place. Take me to that higher place. Grace. Shine a light into this place. Grace. Grace. Take me to that higher place. Grace. Take me to that higher place. Grace. Take me to that higher place. Every trace of this place, every friend, every face, every trace trace of this place, every friend, every face. Everything will fade away. Everything will fade away. Everything will fade away. Hold it close as we fade into this glow.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Yeah, I wonder if I put my music on. Wait, I have that set up already. No, it's not maybe that didn't work. Cause problems. Get all that weird stuff. I want to understand what's proxy and its use in infrastructure and applications. Proxy just means that you have something in between that's relaying the traffic. That's what that means. So if it's a SOX proxy, that will relay all of your traffic. If it's an HTTP proxy, like we have at my job, it just takes care of any web server requests, and they hit the router or whatever. And when they do, it says, "Oh, you want to see this web page? Okay, we'll let you see it," and then it just forwards that information on to you. So that's what's up with that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn the music off because I don't want it to mute the whole video. That would be unfortunate. Although I've enjoyed being able to put the music on during the day, though. I don't think anybody cares if it's just running during the day. Well, nothing else is happening. But yeah, we're going to want to have it off for this kind of stuff. Hey, look, the boost is starting at 7. Okay, good reminder. I'll probably just leave this up here. May the 4th. And the Twitch. Let me put something more useful on the screen. So it's gonna be at 7 o'clock. We're gonna start right on time. So yeah. Beginner boost day 0. Because we start counting at 0 here. 0 day. The 0 day. This is day 0, and then it'll be completed, and that'll be day 1. See, we'll have completed 1 day. I don't know. I like starting at 0 just because it's cool. It's cool. People might not agree, but I do. I think it's cool. How many days total? I don't know. It depends on you guys. I refuse, and we're going to talk about that, but I refuse to put an end date. I'm not going to do it. Because if I put an end date, then we can't take breaks. Day 0. You know what? We're going to talk about this later. We're just screwing around for now. 0 to hero. What? Yeah. So, let me turn my echoey. My stereo echoes a little bit when I talk into it like that. So, check 1, 2, check. I'm a little loud there, but whatever. So yeah. Beginner boost day 0 is today. Nobody's missed anything. We're starting at 7 and we're going to go till 9. I hope this is the one on learning how to learn. We'll see how far we get. If you want to know what it's going to be, so anybody who's like curious already, before we start, I'll start for another 5 minutes. But if you want to get started early, go to the Boost URL. I don't think I even have one on the Twitch. Do I have one on the Twitch? I don't think I do I? There it is. Boost. So if you click on the Boost link right there, see that? Quiet or Boost. If you click on Boost, that will take you to this, which is the official webpage for the Boost. And we're going to talk about why I'm using GitHub in a minute. Anybody watching me for the last hour knows why. Because there's so many changes. There's just so many ongoing changes. You just have to do it for your sanity. So that's what's up with that. So yeah, back to this here. And we'll get going here. Anybody else have any other questions before we get going? I mean, obviously you can ask me questions all the time. So when the tomato is on, that means we're recording because we're going to be doing a Pomo session. I was going to put a camera there instead, but tomato's more fun. So when the tomato is on, that means we're recording, just so you know. And anything you say can and will be used against you. No, there is not a boost tag yet, and there probably never will be. One of the reasons I don't do those bot things is because I believe they kind of clog up the chat, to tell you the truth. So just a little side note for everybody. Anybody who attempts to do things with an exclamation point in front of that, those things, if you actually want to say something in the chat that does not appear on the screen, I'm going to talk about this officially again later. You're going to hear me say it again, but it just reminded me, if you ever want to back channel something in Twitch so that it doesn't show up in the video, you can put an exclamation point in front of it and no one will hear it. Yeah. That's my daily driver, using Vim extensively in JIT. Ooh, nice. That boost hype. All right, how's it going? Code injection via RBX chatbot. No, you almost good. People have tried. because I read from a pipe. Yeah, day 0. Day 0 is good. Yes. So the way this works is I'm going to be leaving up the VODs and I'm going to be highlighting the VODs. So both things will be there. Only on Twitch, though. Okay, so I don't know how I should say that. I should probably wait. We're about ready to start, right? So we're counting down. We should be counting the seconds. How many seconds do we have before day 0 of the boost, of the beginner boost? 30 seconds left. You know, I used to have, you know what, I'm putting seconds. Should I put seconds back in here? I should put seconds back in there. I'm going to put seconds back in my TMUX real quick. Oh no, I can't do that. Can I do that? I don't think I can. Maybe I can. Let me try. Wait. Oh crap. Too late. It's too late. I'll do it later. I'll put the seconds in there next time. Need the VODs online. Yeah. All right. So, looks like the chat's coming in a little bit faster than usual. So let me give you guys some more room. And such. All right. So, F beginner boost day 0. There we go. It's official. We're starting. All right, so nobody needs to worry. We're going to go until 9 o'clock or so. I'm going to try to finish right on 9 o'clock so that I don't get overwhelmed. I've also found that if I limit myself to 2 hours a day, that hopefully will keep it to the point where you guys can keep up. The biggest problem last year from the boost that we learned was that people could not keep up. They just could not keep up. It was too much, going too fast. And the second problem was that the scripting in one of the books was a little lame, and I wanted to do my own scripting, and so I've since revisited all that. And we had a lot of changes this year, so lots of stuff's going to change. One thing before I start recording anything that I just want to repeat that I said before. So the way this works is I will be restarting my normal daily feed every day about 15 minutes to 7, and everything that's on that feed will be saved in a VOD for 60 days on Twitch, and that's it. Now, 60 days should probably cover almost all of the time frame. I'm hoping to not go past July 31st, but if we do, you know, that should cover all of the time. That'll be saved. So if you want to see all of the unedited snafus and kind of like, you know, the outtakes and all of that stuff, you're welcome to just put on the VOD for 2 hours a day and watch that if that's what you want to do. If for some reason you can't see it, I've had a lot of people who are really sad that are in England and other places, and it's just way too late for them. I've actually contemplated having a couple of days of the boost on Saturday and Sunday in the morning so that we could do that. If you actually are from a time zone that would like to participate in the studio audience and can't be here because of the time zones, and you would vote for at least 1 or 2 morning sessions my time on Saturday or Sunday, then yeah, if it's a lot of you guys are going to have problems with that, and I appreciate that you're here, but I unfortunately cannot. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could. I mean, we haven't started the videos up yet. This is a little bit of planning session, and this is why I've got you here. We got the community here. Let's make a vote. Okay. So I don't have to do the boost from 7 to 9 p.m. I just do it 7 to 9 p.m. because that is the time that, you know, it works best for me. But what we could do is we could do a 7 to 9, and then we could alternate. And another day we could do, it would be 8. It would have to be 7 a.m. and that would go until 9 a.m. So a 7 to 9 a.m. versus a 7 to 9 p.m. It would be the 12-hour offset. It'd be exactly 12 hours. So, Akazan, what time would that be for you? I mean, I could probably figure it out, right? It'd be 2 p.m., but that would probably still be too hard for you to make it at that time, right? So I don't know. Maybe we just keep it the same exact time every day and then let you guys have the video. But it's possible if I could alternate them. And what that would end up doing is would be making like one is messed up anyway, but I really appreciate. Yeah. All right. So I think just for the sake the greatest fear I have is that I'll end up conflicting with work. And if I try to do it in the morning too early, I probably would be, let's do that every day at this exact same time. And then we're not going to mess with it. Another thing that messed us up last year that we learned is that when we changed it to be, we had it like 3 days a week. And so people were like, okay, are we on beginner day today or are we on advanced day? Because the other day we were doing hacking. How's it going, Dex? And during that time, we had a lot of, there was just people just didn't know what to do. So one of the things that I think that we're going to start out on a good foot with on this particular boost is consistency. So we will be consistently here from 7 to 9 p.m. I pushed it originally it was going to be at 4 p.m. my time, which would have been a little bit easier for you guys, but not for me because my work would get in the way. My work was continually pushing things later than, past the time when they should have been finished. And so at 7 p.m. my time, 7 to 9 has the strongest chance of not getting any interruption. So that's a lot of talk about that. I know we'll get with the learning and stuff here in a second. We'll start recording sessions. I just wanted to get a feel for the community here and talk to you a little bit about how this is going, and we'll get into that. So that's really all the logistics I had that I really wanted to talk about. I just want to make sure this time works for everybody. It will be consistent. The VODs will be here in Brazil. We use a 24-hour format. It's 20 p.m., 8 p.m. Yeah, hour ahead. Okay. Languages that are available to talk about. Well, we're gonna get into that. So the first thing everybody needs to know is to go to this site. So go to the Boost site. There's a link to it. It's on GitHub. If you go to github.com/rwxrob/boost, that is the thing to go to. Okay. And I'm gonna make a video part about this. So just give me a second. Give me 1 second here. Close that. All right. So, and we're going to follow along right in here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this stuff in here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start a video now. If you see the timer at the bottom, that means the video's on, okay? Just in case you're wondering. Yes, I'm gonna mark the topics that we are off, so you'll know where we're at and everything. All right, so let me go ahead and start up a video here. I'm going to click the marker. Okay. So, welcome to the Beginner Boost. It's day 0. We count from 0, obviously. We're going to learn some C here. Actually, the C book, one of the KNR C book, actually chapter 0. It's become a cultural thing for we coders and technologists to start with the number 0. Welcome from all over. We have people from all over the world. We were talking about, Brazil. People are here at 2 a.m. I can't believe it. We talked briefly about when to come and how to get the content. So I'm going to briefly recap all of that in a really quick video, the logistics. I want to keep the logistics down to 10 or 15 minutes about how this is all going to work and where you can get your information, blah, blah, blah. So put your ears on. I'm going to talk fast. So the first thing is that every day from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, which is down here, EDT currently, is when the live sessions for the Boost will be. I call them like live recording studio. If you want to be in the studio audience, you can be here and participate. But I got to tell you right now, the fundamental focus of the Beginner Boost is to create YouTube videos that are consistent and then in an order that can be outlined so that people on YouTube can come at it whenever they want to, which brings me to the next point. Every single Twitch VOD is kept for 60 days as is. So I start the VOD about 15 minutes before the boost starts. You can come on in and talk and, shoot the breeze with the other people in the community. And then, we're going to be recording sessions during that 2 hours, and not all of the time is going to be recording. Some of it's going to be just talk. So if you want to see kind of like the outtakes and the in-between conversations, stuff like that, then the VOD is the only place that will be saved, and that will be lost after 60 days. The important topics, however, will be recorded with a title, with never more than 25 minutes each. And they will be, whenever the tomato down here, this is a Pomodoro timer. We're using the Pomodoro timer. I talked about changing this to a camera, but the tomato's cuter. So we're going to keep it that, and that's going to tell us that you're live. So anything that you say in the live studio audience will most likely appear on the screen, and it will definitely appear in the VOD. So just know that, right? Just, have good manners and stuff like that. I'm trusting everybody here. Inevitably, we have one or two, trolls in there or something like that. That's fine too. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with testing it. Take your moment right here to test it and type everything you want. If I actually, if I'm at a point where the chat's going to be distracting, I'll just turn it off and I'll just do this. I'll just do something like this and put the fish on or something. And, and I can turn you guys off and you guys can still chat in the background. So a couple little logistics about that. People on Twitch have come to appreciate the use of exclamation point commands in the chat. I don't like them. I don't use them. I think they distract from the chat. But having said that, you can go ahead and try it right now. You can use an exclamation point as sort of a back channel. So if you are in the studio audience and you want to ask questions and you don't want them to appear on the screen and you don't, maybe or anything like that, you can type anything with an exclamation point, and after that, you can type whatever you want after that, and everybody else will see it. There's never going to be a bot command that responds to that. I don't like them. But if you want to use that as a means of communicating, like, is that a piece of lettuce in Mr. Rob's teeth? Should we tell him about it? That kind of stuff, whatever you want, but that, just keep in mind that is not going to be, I see people testing stuff right here. Test, boost, secret message, cock-a-poo-poo. I will not reveal who you were who said that. That's funny. Hopes there will be Python and Django. Yeah. So now I can still see him. So it's important you know that. I won't see him right away, but I have another monitor so I can see what you guys are saying. Sometimes if you want to send me a message that you don't want to appear in the YouTube chat, that's another way to do that. So if you want to secretly tell me something like, dude, whatever, you can't do / now. And you can't run code. People have tried to run code on the system too. They've tried to execute shell commands on my system, which I may actually enable sometime. I actually think it would be really fun to enable a shell command, to do that. All right, my Pomo timer is ticking down, so we got to keep it going on. So rest of the logistics here. So I think I covered most everything logistics. Let's review. So 7 to 9 every day, no matter what time. The entire VODs are saved for 60 days. The highlighted videos, which I didn't talk about, will be the highlighted videos are the ones that I'm making like right now, and they are very succinct and to the point, hopefully. And you can just watch one of those during a break at lunch, or whatever. You can take a break and watch that. The format's always going to be the same. I've decided to go with this Groovebox background, with the sort of the titles up here. I'll probably always be wearing the same black shirt because I'm going to be interchanging videos all the time. No kidding. I actually have like 9 of these Hanes black shirts on, and so that I can, sort of like not trimming my beard the same way. As far as you'll know, it'll be the same guy all in different places. Because we're going to be chopping up lots of different videos and reorganizing them. Okay, so that brings me to the next thing. So, do you guys have any questions about that so far? So they're making comments about some of my other videos, and they're giving me a hard time. That's okay. So the next thing, let's move on then. Oh, of course, my wife's going to make a smoothie right now. Of course she is. Cheers, honey. I love her to death. You should see the hat she just made. Okay, so I know I want a smoothie too. Maybe she'll bring me one. Can you hear it? Can you hear her smoothie? Tell me you can hear it. I mean, she hasn't made a smoothie all day. She just had to make a smoothie like right now. Oh, I love her so much. Yeah, day 0, smoothie noise. If I get a little bit of the smoothie, all things are forgiven. She almost gave me her hat too. I was like, this hat is cool, and she almost gave it to me. I have a fair, there's a fair amount of distraction. I'll probably still stay in the video, but just to give you an idea, that would be, yeah, Mrs. Rob, RWX wife. She's in there. Now, normally I would cut this out, but some of you don't know me, so this is a part of normal here. We're going to be distracted a little bit. Tony's Jupiter. Oh, we're gonna talk about, now you're talking about stuff I'm doing at work. I'm actually working on Jupiter Hub at work. So, see, this would be a place for me to pause the video right now, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to let you just take in the distraction. Let people trickle in. Thanks for the sub, by the way. Another logistics thing. I appreciate the subs and the follows, but I normally don't call people out on it because I personally don't like to be called out when I follow somebody. I don't like to see the big zombie and have everybody talk to me right away. I kind of like to sneak in, and I realize that some people want to be recognized and some people don't. And those who don't want to be recognized, I tend to not say anything. So that's what's up there. Let's go on. So if you want to know, this is the main, most important site for you to go to. Obviously, Twitch is important, but the most important site, you can't really see it from there, is github.com/rdbxrob/boost. This is GitHub. Some of you may remember last year we had rdbx.gg, and I removed all the links from here. This is still sort of a landing spot, but it is not we're not using this because it's just too much work to change all the web content. Thank you for the link, Dex. If you do go to the rdbx.gg and you click on Boost, though, it will redirect you here in case that's where you're going. I have to mention that because last year's Boost content is still there, and you can go through it. It's on GitLab, I think, still. We're on GitHub now, but I want to be really clear here. The main source of content for this entire Boost is going to be on GitHub, and it's going to be only on GitHub. And the main justification for that, and we'll talk about it a little bit more down here, but the main justification for that is because I can make immediate changes granularly, and they will show. You can also follow me if you would give me a watch if you want to. Oops, that needs to be refreshed. If you want to give me a watch or a star, that'll help you. If you have this open in Edge or Chrome, it will actually notify you of a change. You'll get like a system notification if you choose to. And I put a little sponsor link if you feel so inclined. But I just wanted to tell you that I'm kind of violating normal commit rules for messages and using this as a title, which normally is not a thing in Git you would do, but this is an exceptional thing. We're going to talk a lot about how to organize your notes in this way. This is what I call a Zettelkasten repo. We're going to talk a lot about that in note taking. I don't want to talk about it right now. Just know that this is where all things are that are going to be. Everything that's communicated is going to be on here. If there's some a notification that I need to tell everybody about, it'll be on here. The second most important thing, like writing wise, besides YouTube and Twitch, obviously, is the Google Calendar. So the Google Calendar is linked from the Twitch. And some of you are on Twitch right now who are not participating. So there's this calendar right here. That's where this calendar comes from. On Twitch, it tells you what the time is here. And these are all EDT. You can follow that to tell when it's going to be on. I do have a little thing here. If you are tech savvy, this is for beginners, of course, but if you are tech savvy and would prefer not to use Twitch, you can just log into IRC, watch with MPV, and never even log into Twitch. You have to have a Twitch account to get to the IRC, but other than that, you can do that. If you're so, we have a couple of people doing that, so I just want to mention that, and that would make it so you did not have to depend on this. All right, there's like my repos and everything. Anyway, I think we covered everything. Let's go back to my own notes. But I think we're ready to end this beginning logistics video. We've talked about how to get answers. Oh, a couple other things. Any other way that you want to contact me, just in general, is on my GitHub. So there, if you go to github/rwxrob, so if somebody wants to contact me directly, I have a really hard time responding other than through these sessions because just time. I have a full-time job and everything. But if you want to try to get a hold of me, there's a Discord server. The Readme link's broken, but the Discord server link is from there, and you can go ahead and launch Discord and do your Discord thing. We have a Discord community that really helps each other out. I am like never there. Quentin was making fun of me. He's like, no, he really never logs in. So I probably won't be able to, but if you want to direct message me, the best way to get me a direct message is either email or Discord, and I will get to that as best I can. But given the number of people that are here, I can't guarantee that I'm always going to be able to respond to you. But many people have made contact through there. There's people who've gotten jobs through meeting different people in the Discord. I'm not kidding. So reach out. We're going to talk about reaching out. It's part of the R in RWX, and we're going to get to that later. So I think I've hit all the logistics for this starting day. So we talked about, generally how to chat and communicate. We've talked about how to go to get more help. We've talked about, the YouTube video. We probably should go there. So youtube.com. So YouTube is where you can come get, the channel. This is where all the videos are, of course. And this is all of the new videos are the same format. These unique identifiers down here is all you need. If you happen to be watching the video and you see a unique identifier, you can actually pull that unique identifier and put it into the search bar. And you can always go by keyword, of course, but if you want, it's kind of hidden here. But if you click right there and you put in that identifier, that will take you to exactly to the video if you want to find the video. But you can also, so if you want to write down the unique identifiers and don't want to have to write down the whole names, like you're taking notes on paper or in your however you're doing it, that's one way you can get back to the video. All of these videos are going to be connected to the boost outline here. So you'll be able to click right into the video that goes with it, and those videos will continue to populate as we progress through the outline. The outline will change as we go. We're going to be adding new videos as we go. We're going to be removing things as we go. It's very organic, and that's the reason that I can't tell you exactly. Somebody asked the question, when are you covering C? And I can't tell you that, because this is roughly going to take 12 weeks, but I think we probably will end up not hitting that perfectly, and that depends on how much of this time frame. So the really only thing I can promise you is I'm starting today. We'll see how far it goes out like that. So I think that's enough. Let's take a breath to breathe, and we'll move on. We'll get right on into it. Any other questions from the chat that everybody might want to read on YouTube? That sounds like no. So thank you for the follows, and we're going to go ahead and end this first video right now. All right, so technically we're off the clock here now. So stop Pomo. Oopsie, Pomo stop. All right. And I know you guys don't like this, but to keep things consistent, I'm actually going to walk around for like 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm going to take 5. I'll tell you right when. So if you need to take a bio break, this is for your purposes too. If you need to take a bio break, there you go. Live chat. We're on it. We have a little bit of a break. What you got a question you want to ask? You're welcome to ask questions anytime. If the questions aren't on topic, then, and it's not a smoothie. It was, no, but she did make a smoothie. She said she almost brought it into me, but I locked her out. I locked her out because she's just so random. She'll come in here all the time. She made kielbasa and sauerkraut too. So, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to the end of this. Yeah. Yeah, my wife's very German. She was wonderful. Wonderful. It's great having her. Somebody had a question. So another couple of minutes here. This coffee mug it's like a Yeti. It's just completely random. It's actually a gift to my son who was teaching at the school that I did there for a while. And I don't know how much personal stuff to put in these boosts because I don't want to waste people's time, but between breaks here, I guess we can talk about that stuff. Should I keep it public or private on your GitHub README or something else? I should keep yours public or private or mine? So are you talking about mine or yours? If you're talking about your GitHub, so we're going to get into that later, but the short answer is, it depends on what you want people to see. So if you're just starting out, you don't have any good projects in your GitHub, which is fine. You don't want the first project people see to be Hello World. So make it private. That's what I would do. That's up to you, really. If you don't mind, if you have some way to call it out as saying, hey, my codebook learning stuff, I am a noob, people will forgive you. I mean, I call mine a lab, and I'm going to have a lot of things in there about cloud native stuff that I'm just learning, and I look like a noob, and I'm okay with it because I have other stuff in my repos that show that I know stuff. So, but if the only thing you have in your GitHub is just beginner material, I might, from a marketing perspective, I might choose not to make that public. I would wait until I had a repo that you could really, punch and put that on your main page. We're going to talk about how to set up your own personal profile on the GitHub and everything. And then I would put that there. That would be my suggestion. And then once that's there, you don't have to highlight the other thing. If they find it, who cares? And really the only reason to make it public is so you can share it with other people. And I do think that it's useful to have a repo that you can share with others and show them the things that you're learning as you're learning them. Obviously, I've got a lot of that too. So that's the question there. All right. So we're back. And let's go back through the topic here. Oopsie. I have to do some more magic here. Let's figure this out. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to use the web interface just because the links work a little bit better. All right. So I'm going to make a video about all of these points combined. So that's going to be the next video. And we're going to start that here right now. So I'm going to go pretty fast through the video. You're welcome to ask questions during the video or after. Okay. So let me say, I'm actually going to change the topic. I have a little thing here. What is it? All right. So if you'll notice, this is another thing too. This should change the topic as well. It wipes the thing and everything. And I need to make it so it puts this up too. Okay. So again, you're welcome to chat if you want. I just cleared it out to start out. All right. So who is the beginner boost for? This is going to be a really fast video. The beginner boost is basically for anybody who is just starting out in tech. And that's the primary target audience is those who are trying to start out in tech, whether it's a tech career or they're retired and they've always wanted to learn something in tech. I've had all kinds. That's who the beginner boost is for. That includes people who have been in technology for a long time, but maybe feel like they missed some of the fundamentals and they want to go back. That includes, front end people. I've been kind of ranting about front end lately because it seems like the whole world cares nothing more than about front end when in fact, the core computer fundamentals are being ignored. So, maybe you want to learn back end or something and you want to do that. So that would be for those people. And that pretty much covers it. So honestly, it's for anybody who wants to learn about Linux, containers, and coding. And those are the primary thing. And of course, learning how to learn and the scientific method and all of that kind of stuff that goes with it. Those are all fundamentals that are listed. And if you go to the Boost links, you can read. There's links here. So I do want to back up a little bit and read about the prerequisites. So what are the prerequisites? I'll pull this back up from here just so it's easier. I want to, let me zoom this in. So I'm going to use the same things that you guys are probably going to do. I could do it from the terminal, but I would just as soon do it this way so that you guys know where to click and stuff. So it's the same as this is on github.com rdbx rob/boost. The prerequisites. So the prerequisites, the prerequisites are pretty basic. Before you begin, make sure you know these tech things. You should be able to speak and write basic English. I speak pretty quickly. If that's not you, I'm sorry. I didn't make the rules. Damn those English, right? With their Navy, they made the whole world speak English instead of Dutch or whatever, right? So you got to speak English. Algebraic functions. If you don't know how to do basic algebra, some of the stuff that we're doing is going to be harder for you. My son and I actually discovered over dinner one night while we were really wondering what was so hard for people to learn coding, what was the distinction, and we dealt with young people a lot, and we came to agree that those who had exposure to math first had a much easier time learning how to code in general. And so if you've done math, algebra, algebraic functions, if you haven't done any, that's the thing you might want to focus on. In fact, one case, there was a 10-year-old who had taught himself math way ahead of the curve. I mean, he should have had to have been, 12 or 14 to be able to do that. So spend some time in math class, make sure you get what functions do. In fact, many terms, strictly speaking, computer science is an extension of mathematics. And so pay attention, and that stuff will help you out. You should be able to type 30 words from home row. And I don't want to skip over this particular point. I do want to give you, without going too long, I want to give you a few places you can go to practice your typing. A lot of people will be able to help each other out with this, but NitroType is actually a really popular one. I don't have anything to do with these people, but and NitroType is one of the places you can go. There's the typing test, typing.com. I mean, there's just a million places you can go to type. There's like typing games for people who want to learn how to code. And actually on my wish list, which is on github.com rdbxrob, I'm going to plug my wish list here. If you go to /wish, I have a number of wishes here. And one of my wishes is, so if you know how to code already and you're just watching this for fun, God help you if you are. But if you are, one of my wishes is a terminal typing training game. So all the web tools are lame, even though it's designed for coding suck. They need to be an exciting terminal typing training tool that allows. So if you want to make one, that's good. But just typing on the terminal and writing is going to be your best practice because all the coding symbols are on the top row. I still can't hit them as well as I should be able to. So typing is a thing that you have to know. There's just no denying that. And then, and from home row, by the way, none of this hunt and peck. If you're hunting and pecking, that's fine. I actually saw a kid. This is a true story. It's a fun story. I saw a guy that I was teaching. This is how he typed. He was like fully home row from this hand, and this hand was this. And I was like, how did that turn out to be? Turned out he was a gamer. And he had really great dexterity in his left hand because he had been doing, WASD for all of his games of Minecraft and stuff. But he had never developed his right hand home row typing. This is literally, and you should have seen how fast he was. He was, on this, it's the craziest thing. Anyway, keyboard.com. Oh, we have another recommendation here. Let's go look at this one. Yeah, let's look at that one for sure. Yeah, learn to type faster. Here's another one. Let's go look at this one. Web application to learn to type. Ooh, look at this. I didn't know about this. This is why this is so great having a studio audience. And somebody else said monkeytype.com. That was fun too. So monkeytype. This is one of the greatest things about doing this in this way, because so many people bring things to the table that I don't even know about. So there's 2 more things you can try. All right, back to the requirement. I don't want to run over my time. Somebody else got another suggestion. Keyword helped me a lot. Nice, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing that up. So own a computer with admin access. I have to put this because I've taught private school before, and I've had people like delay the whole class like 2 days because they didn't have admin access to their system to put whatever on there. And that at the time it was VS Code that we were using, and they couldn't put it on there. So you have to have a computer, and you should have admin access on it. You're going to need to install Docker and a bunch of other stuff. And if you don't know how to do that, or you don't know what that is, stop right now, or for your homework for the next 24 hours is to figure out how to do that. You got to have this. You can't do any of what we're going to do without actual access to your computer. If your mom or dad need justification, say, Mr. Rob told me I needed to do it. And by the way, don't use your mom's or dad's computer. The Docker containers are going to save us from a lot of mishaps, but it's probably better for you to have a computer that if you do something wrong, no one's going to die, right? And I mean, some parents would get really bent out of shape. Okay. Oh yeah. You're 70 words per minute. Awesome. So, you need to know how to manage your own passwords responsibly. And I am not going to spend a lot of time talking about this. I've done other videos on this. People ask me what my method for managing my password is, and I'm just going to tell you, and I'm not going to say anything else about it. I use KeePass XC, but it is rather complicated password manager for me. Their sessions are recorded. Yes. So, KeePassXC.org. This is it. So this is my preferred password manager. Everybody's got an opinion on this. I don't have anything negative to say about other people's choices, except for be sure they haven't been hacked. There are a couple password manager sites that have been massively hacked. I won't say who, but I fundamentally disagree with storing passwords on any cloud service at all, even though a lot of businesses depend on that. I don't. I have my passwords are on a USB stick, and I use a YubiKey for that, but that's probably going too far for today. If you want to do that, yep, there you go. So, but honestly, a notebook, and a piece of a piece of paper and a pencil is fine. Just be responsible and learn and remember your passwords. The one I almost made a whole system just for that one thing, because nobody could remember their passwords of Skill Stack over 8 years. Every single time I'd have adults. I had a 18-year-old forget his Linux login password, had to re-image his whole computer. Don't do that. Be responsible. The most important thing that you need to learn in terms of technical responsibility is going to be maintaining your passwords. The one thing that makes you look like a fool more than anything else in the technical realm is having to forget your password or your PIN or something. So create a strategy for this. And I'm assuming you have that strategy in place. I'm not going to help you with that. If you forget it, tough beans. You just need to create a system for yourself and I'm not going to tell you what to do. Everybody's got a different system. You come up with your own system, and if you guys want to collaborate in the chat or in the Discord and ask each other what they like and this one or that one, that's fine. But just do it, okay? Because we're not going to deal with that. You need to, by the way, the best password is a long password, not a complicated password, okay? Let me say it again. The best password is a long password, not a crazy password. Like a sentence that you'll remember where you may have swapped out some of the letters for numbers. That is the safest password possible. It's counterintuitive, but the most best password is not limiting it to 8 characters and making them all wacky, weird things that you can't remember. It's actually not safe to do that. It's safer to make a long passphrase, which is the preferred term I like, that you can remember that's got stuff in it. Okay, and use a different one every place you go. So search bookmarks and browse the web. I mean, this goes without saying. If you're here already, you already know how to search, bookmark, and browse the web. It's possible that some people are they're watching this on their parents' YouTube or something like that, and they don't really know how to browse the web yet. I've dealt with people as young as 8 or 9 years old who they're just watching videos on an iPad. So if that's you, if that describes you, then you're probably a little young for this particular session, but that's fine as long as you know how to search the web, bookmark it, and browse it. And I'm not going to go into detail. I am going to tell you the search engines that I use. I use DuckDuckGo for searching. DuckDuckGo.com, which is not as good as the searching, but it's not Google. And sometimes I'll go ahead and use Google. You'll see me using this a lot of times from the terminal as well. So that's what I do for searching. People ask me all the time, what web browser do I use? I'm only going to talk about it now. I'm never going to talk about it again. I use whatever web browser is on the system by default, which means that I'm on a Pop! OS system. I'm using Firefox, which comes with it. I use Chrome on occasion and turn this stuff off of it. I used Brave for a long time, despite the controversy. I'd rather not talk a lot about browser wars right now. Actually, believe it or not, I actually kind of like Edge. I've been using Edge at work, which has got a Chromium base. That's way too much information for this intro. Just use whatever browser you want. Just make sure, bottom line, I don't use a graphic browser very much at all. I use a text-based browser, which we're going to get into. And therefore, I don't care about my graphic browser because I've done all of the privacy violating things that, the tracking is impossible because I'm doing a text browser for that. And then when I get to the actual page I want to see, if there's something graphic on it that I can't see through text, then I pull that page up and I bypass all of the concerns that most people have for browsers being spied on and all that other stuff. There's no cookies or anything in a text-based browser. So my selection of a graphic browser does not matter as much as it does to other people. All right. Where are we? We got that. We have, okay, you should understand basic network concepts and usage. Okay. We are going to briefly touch on, what's an IP address, but you should know what a URL is. You should know, what lag is. You should know what a ping time is in general. You should have a general concept of how to connect to the internet, Wi-Fi, things like that. We're not going to teach you the basics of how to use a network. You really should learn that on your own, though. You should learn how to connect your computer to your Wi-Fi and how to connect your computer maybe through a cable. That is on you to learn how to do that. We will talk about how the packets fly around and everything and kind of explain some of that. But I'm not going to tell you, we're not going to go over how to connect your computer to your Wi-Fi, right? So that's assumed. And that's all. That's all we have for, those are all the only technical prerequisites. Does anybody else have any suggestions on the technical prerequisites before we close up this video? Yeah, it's all fun and games until you can't log in. Ain't that the truth? And you know what? It happened to me the other day too. I was logging in to do my hours on PeopleSoft, and I tried for an hour and a half, reset my password 2 times, and called into the help desk and found out that they had an outage on the whole system. Oh yeah, no one can log in. I'm like, really? You think you could have put a notification on there instead of wasting an hour of my Saturday? I was so annoyed. I was so annoyed by that. All right, that's the end of that video. And we got some time back. I wish I had a less than 5 minute video. I need to take a 5-minute break just because my voice is going to die on me if I don't. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, during this little break, I'm going to go ahead and whole VODs will be available on Twitch for 60 days. Yes. And when the tomato's on, that's a highlighted video that'll go on YouTube tomorrow. I have to wait 24 hours to put them up on YouTube to be compliant with Twitch's rules. So I want to fix this thing now. How much time we got? We got a couple minutes left, right? I want to fix this command really quick. Is that ID? This is a little program I have that sets the Twitch title, and I want to have it do some other stuff. Yep. If you want to ask questions, by the way, in the chat and not have them appear in the video, just a reminder that you can put an exclamation point in front of any message and it will not appear in the chat on the screen. A lot of people fear asking questions and chatting and stuff because they don't want it to be recorded on YouTube. And if you want to ask a question to the chat, you can always put an exclamation point in front of that. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Some great conversation in the back chat. Yeah. Some great back chat there. Just about done here. I do. We're going to, you know what? I don't think the Pomodoro technique is anywhere in here. Give me a second and let's go see if it's in there. And then before we start our next video, I don't think, I don't, well, that's going into the permanent 60-day archive. Oh my gosh, you people. Whatever gets the job done. Hey Thomas, how's it going, man? One last thing I want to do here. So Twitter update. Wait, please tell me that's not updating to Twitter. It's not, okay. It is not. Set Twitch title, set GitHub status. Figgle. I don't think this is happening right now. Oh, that's because I cleared the screen. That's why. I got to remove that. Put it there, and then we'll do this. All right. God. You like the tomato? It is pretty fun. I actually did a video on that. Oh boy. YouTube Q. That video will show you how to, if you want to do Pomodoro in your TMUX. So you can eventually add your own for that. All right, let's go look at what's next. What video's next? Do you guys like this like casual, formal? I think that's probably how we're going to do it. The reason for that is you guys were asking when was it going to be time to ask questions. Well, the breaks in between the videos is the time to ask the questions. So if you want to immediately ask questions or you want to tell us you have a small penis or whatever you want to do, I don't care. I don't judge. Just this is the time to do it, right? And then we'll we'll cover it. We'll cover the other stuff during that other time. All right. So let's go back to the next thing. Yes, I am. Yeah, that's where it came from, Puff. Yeah. This is just, it really helped me focus, even though it's a shorter time period. So, yeah. So let's see here. To treat your after class. You might regret that. LTN Bob has drank a beer with me after class before. I think, yeah. I used to have, look, my Pomo is set to 25 right now, but you can change it to any time you want. If you guys want one, when we talk about TMUX, you can have your own Pomo on your TMUX. We'll have that. I'll show you how to do that. So, and then rest for like 5 minutes. Yeah. All right. Those with the tough enough skin to learn my way. All right. So this is probably not going to take it's only take 5 or 10 minutes, but I need to go through this. So I'm going to try my new things. Yeah. All right, guys, ready? Now, I should have this mark the video automatically. I wrote that code. It's just not integrated yet. I'll have to do that later. All right, we're going to turn the video on now. Oh, my thing didn't work. Damn it. We'll talk about it in a bit. How I do things. All right. Okay, how I do things. The Pomodoro, by the way, ac.doc.d is this thing down here, and that means we're live. That means you're being recorded for everyone to see. In case you're wondering, how I do things. This is a question I have to cover early on. I know there's a lot of this stuff. You're like, can we get to coding? Yes, but I just want to make sure you understand these things about me so that we don't end up mad at each other or misunderstanding. And God knows I have. I mean, we're not going to talk about politics here at all during the boost. If you come during another time, you might catch us in the middle of a political conversation, and I might call you a moron for voting for a particular person. I'm not a good person. I'm just going to tell you right now. I make mistakes all the time on my live stream, and I've been known to have a temper. But that said, let's get to the part where you matter. What matters to you. So this is how I do things. Somebody was joking about I was the kind of teacher you'd have a beer with after, and that's true. But you might regret it. It just depends. So I am a very informal guy. In my private time, I used to have to usually tell people this when I would interview parents and their children before they got admitted to my school. I don't like calling it a school because reasons. Skill Stack, I ran it for years, and this is the extension of that, by the way. And I would have these interviews, and at the end of the interview, I would tell the parents, and I live in the South right now. I would say, I just want to let you know that if you run into any of my content online, there's a good chance you're going to run into an F-bomb and some swear words and me yelling at people. And I'm generally a jolly guy, but when that came up, I was like, I'm a human being. I choose not to live a double life like many other teachers do. I'm just me. And that means you're going to get unfiltered Rob, literally on my live streams a lot of time. I mean, there's video of me dancing and all kinds of crazy stuff. Not drunk, by the way. That video of me dancing was not me drunk. But all kinds of crazy stuff. And you just need to know that. And if that's not what you're okay with, then that's fine. I actually had one parent say there was this one group that I was saying that to. The mother's jaw dropped to the floor. She was like, and the dad was like behind her out of sight, and he was like snickering to himself. It said so much about them. I was like, okay, you can stay here. And it was just really funny because everybody has different sensibilities about this. So I wasn't even going to bring that up, but that's something about me that you should know. However, there's a few times when I'll put you against the wall. So if I'm going to jump all the way to 6 here. If I have no patience for intellectual laziness, let me give you some things right now. You can probably make fun of me after this that will instantly get some sort of like snide remark from me. Asking me what time it is when it's right there on the screen. Asking me things like, oh, what's my schedule when it's in my Twitch chat? Asking me what do I do for a job when it's literally in my title. If you don't even lift a finger to do a minimal amount of research and searching on your own, you're going to get flack from me. You're going to get flack from me. You're going to get it from everybody in my community, because we have no patience for people who are intellectually lazy, who don't want to just do a tiny little search for themselves, answer their own questions. The type of person, and we're going to talk about it later, the type of person who, if you were in a cubicle, we're not anymore, but if they were, they would come to you and ask you a question they could have answered in 2 seconds if they'd searched for it. Okay? If I snap at you because of that, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I want to protect you from other people who will do way more than snap at you, and they will silently judge you and withhold job opportunities and all kinds of stuff. Because if you don't do that and you walk into an IRC chat room with a bunch of people and you ask a question that could easily be answered anywhere else, you will get destroyed, if not banned. So I'm trying to help you here. And if it hurts because I'm short with you, it's because I want it to hurt, because I want it to hurt enough for you to remember it, so that you won't be made fun of later. RTFM in real life. Yeah, it is. RTFM. RTFM stands for Read the Freaking Manual. And so many people just don't do that, right? They don't even bother. What's Google? Right? So this is some things you need to know about me. So if I'm just asking a question, I'm just trying to help you, and that's what's up. I guarantee you that even though I said that, like immediately after this video is over, somebody who's not trolling me will ask me some question about this, and they'll say, well, what's up? So another thing that's kind of rude is that I play the fool, as Socrates did. So Socrates very famously didn't believe in written word. Actually, he did everything vocally. It was Plato and Aristotle who wrote everything down, and they would have the time. And Socrates is really awesome because he would walk around and he would deliberately. Here's what I do for that. If you ask me a question, this is what you're going to get. So go duck yourself, Socrates. Play the fool. So sometimes I'll give you this. Yeah. Or sometimes I'll say, fack it. I have another one that's, it used to be fack off, and now it's fack it. It's like, stuff you can read about me in the FAQ and stuff like that. So, I have fun with it. I don't mean anything. I don't mean anything personal. I swear to God. Now, playing the fool can sometimes get people pissed off, but that was on purpose. Socrates did that on purpose. What he would do, and I really encourage you. There's a really great video on this. I'm kind of running long on my time here. There's a really great video called "Great Minds of the Ancient World." I think it is. It's a Netflix video. It's a documentary. And one of the people they talk about is Socrates, and I cannot recommend it enough. It is a really amazing. It is just a really amazing summary in the streets of Greece about probably the most important thinker of our time. There were a lot. They also cover Confucius and some. What is it? Confucius and the Buddha. So it's a great. Yeah, and so. Playing the fool is Socrates' way of infuriating you by asking you back a question and getting you to answer your own questions and answer your own questions and causing you to sort of dissect your own thinking so that you became an independent thinker. And it's annoying. It's annoying. And first time you start doing it, you're like, why are you being so mean to me? Why can't you just tell me you're my teacher? And this is the antithesis of Socratic thinking. The antithesis of Socratic thinking is the stuff that we're talking about. This Paulo Freire talks about this is banker style education. That instead of Socrates playing the fool and getting you to answer your own questions, banker style education is sit there and listen to what I tell you, and you tell me, sir and ma'am, and I will tell you what you're going to learn, and I'm going to open your head and deposit into your brain, and you're going to learn it, or you're going to like it. And so that's the oppressive education system that we live in today. We're going to talk all about that in this first week. But so the Socratic method is the exact opposite. It puts all the responsibility for answering your questions and doing your own learning on you. And that actually, to someone who's been used to the oppressive style, comes off as the teacher doesn't know what they're doing. It's like, what do you mean? Why are you asking me to do this? Can't you just tell me how to do it? I certainly can. I'm not going to. But my role is to get you to become a standalone, independent person. We're going to talk a lot about that. But I have to put it there because as soon as I do it to people, they're like, well, what? You don't know what you're talking about? Or are you just being mean? Or what's the deal here? Are you trolling me? So that's what's going on. And if they do this in higher level universities, sometimes they'll do it. That's what's up. Okay. New gen gets everything handed. So why they just don't Google research first? Just my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. We do stuff the hard way, so we don't do stuff with shortcuts. I'm going to make you do your own research and figure it out. I'm going to make you ask the question, which of the following is the best way, instead of tell me what to do. All right. I'm going to give you my opinion based on my own research. And a lot of times I'll change my opinion based on research you'll bring to the table through the whole community. And that's what learning's about. It's not about being told what to do. And so we'll come back to that, but the hard way usually means, failing a lot and figuring it out. I've kind of co-opted this word. I believe I'm the first human in history to use the word Zettelkasting. My Zettelkasting is this method you're seeing me do right now. It's kind of a combination of a Pomodoro method, which is like, short time segments that are based on a specific topic, and they're really free form. They have very little structure to them, but each slip, Zettel stands for slip, which we'll talk about, is kind of self-encapsulated, and it's a nice little, bit of video or written word that can be moved around and reorganized in kind of a mind map fashion. And that's Zettelkasten. Zettelkasten stands for slip box. It's a method invented by Nikolaus Luhmann in the early 1900s, which we're going to talk about a lot. This is what you're seeing me do to manage my knowledge and to share it in a way that's easily searchable and very out of the way when it comes to creating your notes. And we're gonna talk about all of that. But that's my method. That's how I do things. If you're wondering why there's a bunch of identifiers there and everything, why I'm not using a website, all of that, that's why that's happening. And the live coding and conversation on Twitch. So during the day, if you want to come to my channel during the day, lately I've been putting on music. I don't always do that, but I've just been like the Ask You Aquarium, and I'm just doing my day job and coming by and just listening to the chat and having random conversations. So you can do that in Discord too. But if you just want to come by the channel and just hang out with us in the chat, our water cooler is always there. I'm usually doing cloud native Kubernetes work for a large company that I can't tell you. If you do know, please don't dox me. They may not like that. But yeah, and I'm currently setting up Jupyter Hub for multi-user environment in our Kubernetes cluster. So if that's how I do things. That's what I'm doing during the day. If you're interested in what I do for a living and all that, you can come on by. I've actually been putting Spotify music on, so in the background. So if you do it's not always going to be the same music. I will try to mix it up. I should probably mention that I do have a Spotify link in my Twitch. So if you've seen a song there and you don't know, you want to find that out, that's where you can go get that song. And there's always a group of people around the chat. In fact, I've got this is no lie, I got my current job from Twitch. That is not an exaggeration. My current job, I got it through a contact I made by live streaming on Twitch. True story. And I didn't have to search at all for any other jobs. Yeah, and it wasn't a Twitch job. It was somebody that I met through Twitch. He may or may not be here right now. But it was somebody that I met through Twitch, actually became Vera. You probably see him. And he and now this acquaintance I made through Twitch, who helped me with my RC and everything, is now my coworker that I deal with every day in stand-up meetings. It's an absolute miracle. I love it. There are lots of job opportunities that come up here. There's another opportunity that I had that I met with a person. So this is one of the reasons that I mentioned this live coding and conversation and this kind of water cooler atmosphere, because somebody, I haven't mentioned it in a while, but somebody once said, wow, it's like there's a bunch of grandpas and babies in here. And I kind of like that term because that's what it is. There's a lot of veterans that are learning from people that are younger who are bringing new things to the table. And for me, that's containers. I'm very new to containers and Kubernetes and cloud native, even though it's my job now. And there's a lot of people from the old guard who can share, how to use VI properly and stuff like that. And kind of, why BSC matters and things like that. Like Dennis, God bless him. I miss him immensely. Dennis is another Twitch streamer. I mean, we haven't heard from him for a long time. I hope he's okay. But the point being is that there's a lot of cross-pollination, and that includes, we've had one or more hiring managers in the chat. So, and I actually have direct contact with an SRE recruiter who regularly asks me for new names. So I can't promise you a job, but I can tell you that by staying connected with our community, that is how jobs happen. It's not happened by Dennis. Yeah. Jobs don't happen by cold calling people and spamming resumes. Jobs happen by producing trust with people that you know already and getting referrals from people who know your work and your personality. That's how most jobs happen. So that's something that can happen here. That's why I do live coding and conversation on Twitch. So that explains why I'm talking about that first point. Other than that, I mean, everything else you might want to know about me, there's links to it in my Twitch. During the boost, I promised to not really divert into personal storytelling and stuff like that. On the weekend is your most likely chance to hear me tell a story that may or may not be saved for time and eternity on YouTube. I've told some pretty doozy stories, but I'm going to try to keep that out of this kind of thing. I'm going to try to keep my stories relevant. I've been around a while, so, I've got stories, but I'm going to try to keep them relevant as much as I can. And speaking of which, we're going to get to a relevant story here pretty soon when we start talking about learning how to learn. There's some stories coming up. I'll talk to you some of my experiences about how I learned. So that's the end of this video. Any other questions? We're going to take another Zettel break, 5-minute break. Hopefully those marks are going through. All right, so we're going to do fundamentals. I need to do a quick video on what the fundamental. This is going to be really quick. It's going to be really quick. So, and we're going to get that. That one's going to be really quick. But let's take a break though. I think I probably need to save the life stories for Sundays because they're just too distracting from everything else. Like when I put the beach on in the background. You know what though? It's funny because I've let me start my break timer before I get. I'm being casual now, so. Yeah, back at 8:12. Oh, is he active on YouTube now? Is he streaming? Is he streaming to YouTube? That's good to know. We had somebody in here who was really afraid. Hunter Mug, favorite anime. I like Hunter X, yeah. To be completely honest, my favorite anime, I don't know. I'm a sucker. It's really mainstream. You're going to think I'm such a noob. So first of all, my stepson who's Chinese is the only source of anime. The first anime I ever saw was, I used to get up at like 5 a.m. to watch, I think it was Starship Troopers. And of course, every day at 4 p.m. was G-Force. And we're talking old school anime, man. Old school Americanized anime. Those are the first, I have the best memories of watching G-Force as a kid. In fact, as a little kid, I made a G-Force like wings. As a really little kid. And I was obsessed. I was obsessed with G-Force for a really long time. I mean, if you're talking about, but the other anime, I like some of the more edgy anime. The one I'm just kind of embarrassed to admit that I really love is I really love One Punch Man. I think One Punch Man is probably my all-time favorite anime. I love everything about it. I like how tongue-in-cheek it is. I just really, really love it. I like how well the first season, the second season sucked. The animation, they got somebody else. Perfect Ben. Yeah. Yeah. Attack on Titan. Everybody loves Attack on Titan. I was going to say Attack on Titan is the one that I detest. I cannot stand Attack on Titan. I hate it. I hate it. I like, there's a couple of those. I can't remember the name. What's the one that has the Yakuza in Japan? They almost all do, right? There's one where what's the one that's the take on the old Scottish. God, I have to ask Otto what the names of these are. I'm gonna have to go do my research because I've just seen them. I can't remember the names. I like the one with the high school one. No, there's no, it's Raw or something. Full Metal Alchemist, yeah, of course. Full Metal Alchemist is really awesome. I love Full Metal Alchemist too. Yeah, I couldn't get through it either. I actually liked the first season of Naruto for a while. Ra. What is that one called? Do you guys know what it is? It's basically a retake on a Scott. It's the strangest thing. It's this retake. Yeah, do ra. That's the one. Do you know it? Yeah. No, it's do ra. Yeah. And I didn't get to finish that one either. I got most of the way through it, and I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. What's raw? Raw said yes, I know. There's another one where everybody had a sort of spirit that could turn into a weapon. What is that one? You guys remember that one? There's one where everybody had a spirit, and the spirit would turn into a weapon, and the one weapon was like a scythe. Not Pokemon, no. Soul Eater. Yes, Soul Eater. That's it. Spirited Away is another one. It was Soul Eater. It was definitely Soul Eater. Yeah. Yeah. Soul Eater got under my skin too. I love that one too. Again, I would not know about any of these. They're watching Demon Slayer right now and Goblin King. Goblin King and Demon Slayer are like so gory. I cannot get into them. They get really into them. My stepson really loves them. So, there was another one. I mean, I don't know. I've watched little bits and pieces of so many different ones, but I got to tell you those. I think One Punch Man. I could watch that first season like 1,000 times. I love it. It's just so funny to me. That whole show is so funny. My stepson actually started doing the One Punch Man workout. Do you guys know that? We got to go back here, but do you guys know the One Punch Man workout? Who knows it? Who knows the One Punch Man workout? Anybody know it? There's a oh yeah. There's like a One Punch Man workout. Yep. There it goes. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10K run. Yeah. 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10K run every day. No, he doesn't do it. No, he started it. He was working on it. You don't have to do them all at the same time. You can do the push-ups all through the day. So, balled from the training. Yeah, totally. That's like canon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Squats. 100 squats. That was it. 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups. You know what, though? You know what's funny? So, true story, and we'll get back to the lesson. So, true story. There was, what's the guy who plays Trump on Saturday Night Live? What's his name? I know the run would be hard. I think if you just walk 10,000 steps every day as a replacement for that, you'd be fine. That's 5 miles. Baldwin. Yeah. Baldwin, the other guy, the guy that was dating, what's her face? That gorgeous singer. Probably the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, in terms of like traditional beauty. What's her name? Oh God. The other guy, the skinny guy. God, what's his name? He was dating the singer chick. Not Gaga. Why am I blanking on this? because we're talking about coding. Not traditional. No, she's. I can't remember who she is now. She always puts her hair back and she puts it up high and right here. Pete Davidson was dating what's her face for a while. The girl. Anyway, I was trying to just get to the name of Pete Davidson. So this is the 100 push-ups thing. Okay, so this is related, and then we'll get back to work here. So Pete Davidson, Maximum Gains. Oh, you found it. 10K lines of code. Yeah, wouldn't dev. That's quotable. Yeah, Ariana Grande. So true story. My wife was telling me, like, Gwyneth Paltrow, she's cute too, but she's kind of weird. So Pete Davidson told a story in an interview about Baldwin went to him because he saw him with his shirt off. True story. Baldwin saw Pete Davidson without his shirt on, and the guy's apparently ripped. And Pete Davidson, just to mess with him, he said, Baldwin's like, how did you get so? Because Baldwin was kind of pudgy. He's over 50, like me, you know. And he said to Pete Davidson, he goes, how did you get so ripped? How did you say to him? And he goes, and Davidson said, well, you know, I felt like telling him I'm not over 50, but instead I said, I just do 100 push-ups a day. And so, no kidding, Baldwin started doing 100 push-ups a day every day. It's a true story. And he ended up getting totally ripped because, and Davidson told him later, he goes, I was just messing with you, dude. I just thought it'd be funny. And he actually did it every day. Of course, Baldwin's, wife is that famous yoga person. That's a fun story. I mean, it's related to the whole 100 push-ups a day thing. If you spread 100 push-ups a day through the whole day, I mean, that's a pretty good workout. I think you might end up with screwing your shoulders up if you're my age, but be careful with it. Yoga is the way to go, if you ask me. All right. Well, we won't have anything about yoga here. We probably should, though. Yoga is a really important thing. Moving your body is how you stay healthy in many ways. All right, let's go back. What should we do next? We do the next thing. I know this is kind of just a lightweight first day. That's just to be expected. So let's go through here. Let's containers and coding. Okay, we're gonna do that next. This is gonna be a really fast video because what are the technology fundamentals? I mean, it's almost kind of lame, but we're gonna do it. I was gonna do yoga stream at one point. I was really seriously starting to do. I was gonna start it like Sunday mornings, and I just could not maintain the schedule. It was too hard. I really, really want to do that. It would be like pudgy old guy yoga, so everybody could keep up. But I want my picture back. The picture in my profile. That's the picture I want back. What happened to Artivix Yoga? We were gonna do Artivix Yoga, and I just could not maintain the schedule. It might come back. Who knows? I did it. I've been doing yoga every day for the last 3 weeks now, 2 weeks, and it's really helping. But the pollen is really messing me up right now. So we should do stretch breaks. Well, that's what that 5-minute thing is all about. So hopefully you guys will. Sometimes when I take a break, I'll go in the other room and do a sun salutation or something. And I did do a video on sun salutations. So if you want to do that, yeah. Or maybe one of these. And that's the one that's on yoga. I did do one. It talks about yoga for coders. And I just go through a basic movement that just activates your if you want to stretch, you want to get a good stretch, not only stretching, but one of the important things to do is to invert your head so you can increase the blood flow back to your brain, because your brain needs more blood and stuff, right? When you just sit here, blood just pools everywhere and it doesn't go around, your legs get cold and all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. And so actually just basic sun salutations are one of the best things that a coder could do. And I actually just linked to that. I'm going to make an extra video there. I don't know. I mean, where should we put that? I guess, I don't know where we can link that to. If I can find that place for that, we can put that in there. Where should we put that? Just give me a second here. Maybe I can add it someplace. Where does it make sense to put it? How I do things, yoga for coders. How about that? No. Learn how to learn. Nope. From tonight, not going to lie. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I would put it. I really don't. So, I don't know. Yeah, I can't justify putting it in anywhere in the boost. I don't know. Let's healthy. I mean, we don't have to talk about it a lot. You know what I mean? It's just like, where's my how I, I'm going to change this to say those, willing to learn my way. You know what? Let's put the yoga under there. This is why I did this way, because it's really organic. I don't have to publish a website. I can just change it right away. So which one is that, by the way? How, let's see, git grab dash I, how, let's see, how to learn how I do think. I think it's in the Mazette. Okay, guys, thanks for being patient. How, there it is. See, the thing that's great about this is something I started doing from the skill stack. I would actually work on the content while I was here. Coders. All right, so there it is. Now it's saved, so I won't lose it. I'll go back and put some stuff in there. It does. It totally does. It releases your dopamine levels. It gets you better for your eyes because you can go out and look at some stuff. So you know what? Let's actually do a video about it, because we talked about it kind of organically, and that is sort of related to what we're doing here. So, well, I already have a video for it, so I don't need to do that. I'll just tack that video onto the other one. So, does that make sense? Yeah, I think we got it. All right. Okay, so where are we? I'm going to do another video on technical fundamentals, and we'll talk about that. We have about a half an hour left for today. I know this first week is week 0, or day 0. So I'm going to go change the topic to what are chat thing that goes in your screen. Well, we'll talk. I can talk about that too. If you want to talk about it during the break, but there's lots of videos on that. Actually, that's in the FAQ. If you go to the FAQ and say question chat, so that will probably give you the answer you want. Make sure you click on the number when you get that, and you'll see the whole file. So yeah. Let's see. And what was I doing? Oh yeah. Title. Let's say, what are the fundamentals? I don't know why it doesn't do this. Okay. All right. So we're going to start one here. What are the fundamentals? To me, the fundamentals are the stuff that you can do with your computer without having an internet connection. And this is something I regularly complain about. The reason that we're covering the question about what are the fundamentals is because part of the beginning of the beginner boost is figuring out who this is for. And one of the answers to that is people who may not have learned the fundamentals but are already technologists employed in great jobs. And frankly, a lot of them are in the front end technology world. And that would have, it to some degree included me. I mean, I learned, Decoding Basic when I was a kid. And then, I kind of moved away from computers, and then the internet happened, and I thought that was really great. And I learned HTML and front end stuff. And then someone told me to learn Perl because it was going to get me a job. And I actually called up an internet service provider and said, what's the number one thing I should learn? And they said Perl. I learned it in 21 days, quit my job as a Russian cruise director, and worked for an internet service provider in Oregon, and off I went. And at the time, because they told me to learn Perl and some of that stuff, I ended up learning what I consider to be the fundamentals. And they didn't have anything to do with the internet. The fundamentals to me are all of the things your computer was originally intended to do. The reason it's called a computer is because the people who invented computers needed to compute. They needed calculations. They needed things that cost them $100 an hour. The reason VisiCalc was, the most popular software in history when it first came out is because all of these accountants were paying hundreds of dollars an hour for mainframe access to calculate their spreadsheets. And so computers, and then to process tables for astrophysics and geology. Babbage. That's the way he made the original mechanical computer. And you can go on and on. The railroad companies, the census. I mean, I'm reading The Innovators, which is a great book, which we'll talk about, and it has a lot of examples of these original uses for computers. And the reason I bring it up is because I really believe that computers have, I wrote a recent sort of Zettelkasten post about this, but computers have become our entertainment sources, and they're like the television or a gaming system. We've forgotten that they are fundamentally tools that have been designed to help us do arguably more productive things with our time. And so I believe that's the fundamentals, learning how to compute on your computer. And that means doing it without the internet. I love the internet, and God knows we need it. Sun Microsystems went so far at one point in the 90s to say the network is the computer. And I think that's absolute BS. The computer is the computer. And there's some value in respecting the original inventors of the computer and learning how to use that part of the computer. Well, okay, so what does that have to do with, learning the fundamentals? And what does it have to do with the beginner boost? Well, the fundamentals, therefore, are learning how to do computations, learning how to use a computer at the lowest level, learning how your computer works, understanding what a CPU is, what the memory is, how many CPUs have, what's a core, how do I interact with the computer without all of this graphic stuff in the way? How can I get to the true power of the computer underneath the hood and all this pretty stuff that Steve Jobs and Smalltalk and Engelbart added, to give us the graphic user interface, which is fine. But from the beginning of the graphic user interface, we have tended to look at computers as sort of, what's the word I'm looking at? Like your toaster, like an appliance. Your computer is an appliance, and it's not so much, a tool for computing. And I really think that a lot of us have skipped over learning how to use a computer in that way. And that means learning the command line. It means learning the terminal. It means learning an operating system that is closer to the hardware than any other operating system. And I'm speaking of Linux or BSD or Unix or any of these things. These are operating systems that the mainstream doesn't know about. Yet it runs all of the stuff that they use every day is being run on Unix and Linux systems, and they could barely even tell, even streetlights and everything. And yet we still fundamentally don't understand how all those things are happening. So I believe the fundamentals are understanding your computer from as close to the hardware as possible, without going too deeply into it and learning like assembly. I would love to teach assembly to beginners. But I think we need to learn things like we need to learn the terminal first. We need to learn, shell scripting so we can immediately benefit from, small, easy commands such as, you want to do some math calculation. Well, you could be in the middle of editing a file and just need to do some math. Now, plus, 45 times 4.4, scale equals 3. And I can send that to BC, and I have I should have a calculation if I didn't screw this up. Did I screw it up? I don't know. You're going to see I'm doing this live. Did I make a syntax error? What did I do wrong, guys? I'm trying to send it to my calculator. There we go. I don't know why it's not doing it. Of course, I'm not going to clip that out. I'm just doing the Mr. Rogers thing. Should we start with something easier? All right, so let's do... Oh, you know what I did? Oh my God, I feel so embarrassed now. I was sending it to Bash. I was sending it to Bash and not BC. Yeah, I was. So 5 plus 45, 35 times 35. I mean, you know, it's just something stupid. All right, so scale equals 2. I'm being very off BC. Well, maybe not. I'll have to put that out. Why is it not doing it? It's driving me crazy. BC is a calculator that's built in, and I'm just sending the code to the calculator. But for some reason, it's just not having it. I might have to cut that part out of the video. Did I not do it that way? It's supposed to be... Oh, you know why? There we go. All right, scale equals 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't have the blank line after it, so it didn't know what to do. Now it can't do it. BC without the point. No, I'm trying to send the current line to BC. I had an error again. I'm leaving it in. I'm leaving all this foolishness in here. Maybe let's go back to a simpler calculation. I'm like spacing on something. There we go. So anyway, I mean, other things too. I mean, there's just like all kinds of little things you could do for I in let's say 0, 4 to 10. Do echo hi there, number I. Done. And whoops. And I mean, I'm doing this all live, so watch it not work. So I can write a little program and I can have that come out and actually do what I had it do. So stuff like that. I mean, yeah, just anything. I mean, there's so many things you can do from the command line in the terminal that are so powerful that this is why, you know, scientists and everybody like to use it. But I don't think you have to be a scientist to be interested in using the terminal and getting started up. Yes, this is Bash. Thank you, Pardon Senior, for helping me through that struggle. BC is a built-in calculator that comes with your system and Linux and everything. The point I'm just trying to make is that is all of this stuff is stuff that I consider fundamental, and that, you know, people consider fundamental learning web development now, and I don't necessarily believe that that's the case. I do think learning how to use the internet for communication or networked computers for communication is the next most important thing. And so, you know, knowing how to send email and all those things are all fundamental as well. But I believe these days they include learning things like GitHub, and we're going to talk about those essential services next. So, like it or not, I'm going to leave all of that, that stuff in there. But the takeaway is the fundamentals are the things that your computer can do without a connection to the internet. And then if you have a connection to the internet, the things that allow you to communicate over the internet with different things. But that includes computing, learning how to compute, to communicate, how to take notes, how to use it as a tool, how to use the computer as a tool. And that means learning the command line, and it usually means learning an operating system besides Windows or Mac, even though you can use those as a tool as well. You just have to know how to get to the power, which is underneath all the fancy icing and stuff that they put around that. All right, so I'm going to end that video. And so that's what those are about. What else we got here? I feel like I didn't get the break last time, so I'll go ahead and take that. 8:39. We could probably fit another couple of videos in here. I want to get through all this beginner stuff. Oh, yes. Yeah, we can skip that. I talked about that already enough. We talked about terminals and containers. Let's talk about setting up essential services. And I'm not going to tell you how to get these services. I just wanted to go ahead and make one video about how to get these and why they're needed. He doesn't do the trick you wanted to show off. Yeah, it does. It's actually BC that was messing me up. Yeah. It should be fine. I don't understand. So scale equals 2. I think it has to be on a separate line. I think that was the problem. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it's because I forgot the semicolon. Yeah. That's what it was. It was a semicolon. I'm gonna have to cut that out and like replace that and put that in there. Is that possible? Can you do that? I don't think you can do that. Times 1.6. There you go. So quit forgetting the semicolon. I know. It's really powerful unless you forget the semicolon. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to here. Yeah, I'll put that in. I'll put the after this semicolon thing is kind of like at the end of it. People are like, "Oh, that's it. I forgot the semicolon." Yeah. So I mean, I'm doing it fast. That's why I miss it. Wait, where did my break go? Fundamentals, semicolon. Exactly. Exactamal. I'll take a fiver. Error on line 1857. I know. I was like, really? If you don't put scale in there, you don't get the decimal. That's why it said 0. When I was doing the division, it did 0 truncation division, which is even worse, right? Truncating division is like the death of people. They think it's going to do the division and they get a 0. They don't even get like a round error. So, yeah, it's like super scary and annoying. I'm actually going to go walk around for a bit, take my own advice. I'll be back in a bit. A script to do what? What, the titles? What are you guys asking? Figlet. Yep. It's called Figlet. It's Figlet, yeah. It's just Figlet. Yeah, there's different ones too. You can do so here's the, oh, by the way, so that specific one is right there. So that's the link to the actual script if you want to look at it. And that's in my FAQ actually. So that'll give you the actual name of how I set my fonts up. If you want to go look at that. How much time I got? 8:41. And yeah, so yeah, it's pretty fun. This is pretty cool. This traps the Control C, the cancel, so it clears your screen and hides your cursor. And yeah, it just writes it out. I still have this annoying problem with my title. I was trying to get it to clear the screen and then still print the topic, but I feel like it's not doing it. Yeah. Oh, I see what's going on here. And single equals. Oh, I see what's going on there. Oh, this is just stripping the end of the topic off the end of it. This is if it begins with that. Okay, so that was my AFK stuff. Yeah. I mean, I can probably change this later, but for right now, I can just do F topic. I'm trying to make it so I don't have to type it twice. Yeah. 8:41. How are we doing? Oh, time to start again. We're almost done. What are we on? We are on setting up essential services. Okay. So, another video coming, and about 9 I'll be wrapping up today. So this will probably be one of the last ones. This isn't going to go very long either. Topic. Set up essential services. Hey, look at that. It worked. All right. So set up essential services. What does that mean? If you are in the business, will tomorrow start learning how to learn? I don't know. Look at the schedule. See where we are. We're going to get there one at a time. So setting up essential services. These are all things that we have to go through. I know they're not fun things, but you have to have all of this in order to do everything else that comes next. So I have to talk about it, and I don't have to talk a lot about it, but you just have to have it. And if you don't, it's going to be impossible for you to do that. So what are the services that are essential? You have to have email of some kind. If you want to use Gmail, that's fine. I don't care. I don't like it. I don't use it. I use Proton Mail. I strongly suggest Proton Mail. Some people in different areas of the world cannot use Proton Mail. So notably Russia, we found out. There's a number of places that can't do it. Some people consider use of Proton Mail, unfortunately, that you're a hacker or something. It's not. It's a very mainstream, very secure service that I've been using for several years, and I cannot recommend it more strongly. I think it's a fantastic service. How's it going, Pyros? And so you need a YouTube account. If you actually, just truth be known, you don't have to have a YouTube account in order to participate in the boost. I think it's useful for you to have a YouTube account. By the way, you can have a YouTube account without having a Google account. You can create a YouTube account and use your email from Proton Mail. People don't know this, and they think they have to have a Gmail, and they really try to push a Gmail on you, but you don't have to have that. You can have just a YouTube account that has, in my case, rob@rdbx.gg. It's got a completely different email address. I think it's in your best interest to have a YouTube account. We can't escape the fact that they're going to track what you watch on YouTube. I don't think that's particularly bad because they do tell you about other things that are there. I am monetizing videos on YouTube mostly for the exposure and not so much for the money, obviously. But so I'm an active YouTube user. I believe overall what YouTube is doing for the world is a good thing. There's a lot of complaints I have about other things that they do, but I think overall allowing us to publish videos, particularly educational videos, is kind of groundbreaking. And I think it's amazing. So I think everybody should have a YouTube account in order to do their own research. You probably all have one already, but it's just worth mentioning. I sometimes have to make this point to parents because their children, if they're under 13, by the way, it's illegal for them to have a YouTube account. And it's up to the parents to decide whether or not they are going to allow their child to have that account. Technically, in that case, I believe it's the parents who own the account and they're allowing their kids to use it. If that's a concern for you, if you're a parent or you're a young person and you're under 13, or for your parents are going to like it, whatever, that's your own decision. But I think it's a real essential thing to have. You should create a Twitch account if you want to participate in the studio audience. However, it is possible to not have to log into Twitch. And I document that on the main Twitch page. If you go down here, it's right here. There's a section in here. It says Twitch without Twitch. I don't know if you can see it. I can probably zoom it in, but you can log into IRC. You can use that. You can watch with MPV and go that way if you don't want to do Twitch. I think Kangas and a bunch of other people are actually using IRC. I do have and if you know what IRC is, I do have another IRC channel called RWX, #RWX on Freenode. I'm not going to spend any time talking about it during the boost, but if you know about IRC, you're welcome to go in there and chat. It's relatively unpopulated these days because I have been doing Twitch IRC a lot. So, but I do think learning IRC is an essential skill, but I didn't feel strongly enough about that to put that into the boost. I'm on the fence on that particular thing because there's just so much good content in IRC. So maybe that will come up later in the good to gig stuff that we talk about at the end of the boost. Some of the more advanced things. At that time, we're also going to talk about Twitter accounts and Reddit and other stuff for making connections as opposed to essential services. I wouldn't say IRC is essential. I believe it is for me, but I'm kind of backpedaling off that. But as you can tell, I'm kind of conflicted on whether or not that truly qualifies as essential. So to participate in the boost, you actually don't need to have Twitch. Many people don't. And I've been getting a lot of feedback on YouTube by people who are happy for the short form videos again, because they are just YouTube users and I'm no longer live streaming to Twitch. I mean, to YouTube. So that's what's up. And there's a lot of other great people live streaming to YouTube. I probably never will. I did for a while, but that experiment failed because the interface is just too horrible. And there's just a number of reasons why it wasn't working. People can, kind of chat with each other and stuff. So I've moved away from that and decided not to do that. What else? GitHub. So, you guys know I've been using GitHub all night, github.com. GitHub.com is a mandatory account right now for any technologist. I don't think I can overstate this. People come back at me with but it's owned by Microsoft and blah, blah, blah. And I used to like GitLab for a long time because of that. I flip-flop back and forth on GitLab, GitHub at least 3 times in the last 5 years. And right now there's just no debate. GitHub is overwhelmingly the dominant account service provider for technologists, and that even if you don't think you need it, you need it. And we're going to talk about that a lot. On the note-taking method that I use, the method for collaboration, why GitHub is more important than LinkedIn. Even it's more important to have a GitHub than a LinkedIn for discoverability. There's just so many reasons to have a GitHub. You can track issues on it. You can use it for your knowledge base. Just get a GitHub account. Now, I have to say right here as a mandatory disclaimer, if you get a GitHub account, when I was working with young people, one of the reasons that I went to GitLab is because of the GitHub policy regarding anyone under 13. And I actually contacted the people from support on the phone at GitHub. They let me talk to them. I'd been involved with GitHub Ed for Education for a while. And they said they weren't aware of the policy. And I was like, really? Because there was this drama. There was a big YouTuber either YouTuber or tech blogger, I can't remember, but he got banished from GitHub for letting his son or daughter under 13 use it. And GitHub has a very strict policy about sharing accounts. Thou shalt not share GitHub accounts. If you have the knowledge and the skill and you're just watching for fun, I would suggest you go the extra mile and actually validate your account with a GPG signature. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about that. That was a statement just for the more advanced people who might be listening in. It's just really a great way to validate who you are. GitHub also supports sponsorships and a bunch of things. I made a whole video on GitLab and video. In fact, let me send that to you if you're interested. So the question is, YouTube query GitLab and GitHub. I've made there's actually 2 or 3 videos out there, and if you look, make sure you look at the timestamps. Yeah, and make sure you look at the timestamps on those videos when they go into depth about why I've decided that GitHub is the dominant service provider right now. People hate me for saying that, but I justify that. In short, it's just they've got over 100,000 users. It's so many levels. They're just destroying GitLab on so many fronts. So if you want a GitLab account, you can get that as well. I still have a GitLab account with a lot of aging, outdated data in there that I need to move over. But my current recommendation is GitHub, and I think the writing's on the wall there. I don't think GitHub is ever gonna become unpopular. I don't think if Microsoft were ever to mess around with GitHub, that would prevent people from using it from a user perspective. GitHub did decide to tell me that I was no longer qualified as an educational institution, and then I had 30 days to get my stuff off, which was a pretty draconian move that really angered me. Because I had to immediately download it all and put it out there, even though I've got people $100,000 junior engineering jobs, and I'm kind of tentative with GitHub and their domination and centralization, and I've played around with the idea of putting everything on my own Git repos. I was pretty vocal about that for a while, but as of this moment, I can just say I am not inclined to get off of GitHub for a very long time, and it's mostly for pragmatic reasons. It's one of those things. It's like YouTube too, right? Or Twitch. God knows I complain about Twitch all the time and their overuse of advertising and blah, blah, blah. It's one of these catch-22s. It's like, you got to use these things, but at the same time, so frankly, the way I look at it is I'm going to take as much advantage of them as possible because God knows they're going to take advantage of me. So all the bets are off. As long as it's like a convenient relationship, fine. At least it's not, Snickers at anyone I know. And so, it's just the world we live in. I absolutely refuse to have a Google account. However, I'm softening on that particular position as well. It's not really a part of this video, but I am warming up to Google because of their offering for Google Cloud Platform, which is an opportunity for them to make money besides stealing our privacy. And if I can give Google an opportunity to make money on me in a way that's selling a service as opposed to selling me and my privacy, I would rather reward them for that. So my position on Google is kind of, fluid at the moment. So I said to say, I do think about those things a lot. This is not just me shilling for these account providers by any means. That's how I operate. Docker account. So this one is a new one. So last year we did not do anything with Docker. And this year we are. This year we are going to be building everything on top of Docker from day one. So I'm not going to tell you how to get a Docker account, but you need to go get one. So get a Docker, docker.com, I think, and go get a hub account. And if you want to jump ahead, you can go ahead and install Docker Desktop on a Mac or a Windows machine. If you are kind of proactively installing Linux ahead of time, which you can do. But last time we had a boost, we spent way too much time talking about how to install Linux and what distro to use and what window manager and all of that. And we are not talking about that in this boost at the beginning. This boost is all about the terminal, and the container kind of keeps us in the terminal for that reason. So that's why we're getting Docker from the beginning. And the next step is going to be to download an image, whichever one you want, but suggesting Debian. And then we're going to be on the command line using the command line from the next day on. And that's how we're going to do this whole boost. At the end of the boost, it's in the calendar, or the outline. At the end of the boost, we will be doing Linux on hardware conversations, so that I installed it on this. What kind of computer should I get? How many cores? Should I dual boot? All of these questions, they're still valid, but they don't derail the boost. They can be done after the fact, because the boost is about getting on the terminal as quick as possible. And this is going to be the first year we're going to try it, but we think that Docker might be the way to do it. Ironically, somebody recommended that we do Docker last year, and I was not good enough with it to really act on that recommendation. So that's where we're at. Those are the services you should focus on. We're going to be talking about some other things tomorrow, and I think the next day, so you probably have a couple days to get those services set up. But if you're missing any of those services, that's your homework. That's your priority for right now, is to get on those services using an account that you want to use. You don't have to set up your keys on GitHub yet if you don't want to, if you know what I'm talking about. You don't need to do that just yet. We're not going to get to that until sometime. We're going to use the GitHub graphic interface for a while just to get used to GitHub. And talk about what it's about and all that. Many of you have already had experiences with GitHub, so once you create these accounts, just go ahead and play around with them and figure them out. But we're going to be getting into the specifics of them over the next week or two. Okay. All right, and that ends that one. So that's like 2 or 3 videos. I'm going to spend the next hour or so chopping up these videos and putting them up. I know this is not fun, but I have to talk about it. I know it's not fun, but for some of you are like, let's get to the good stuff. It's funny because this stuff that I'm kind of like going over quickly is stuff that actually, when I'm working with really, really young beginners, like 12 years old and stuff like that, I wonder if I should put that into prerequisites. I used to have age under my prerequisites, but I don't like age limitations, because age has nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how's it going, Janpoon? We're just wrapping up. You can watch me make the videos. So, but all those videos are here, Jan. You can watch all these videos. For the next hour, I'm gonna be editing videos, and then we're officially off the boost. But if you have any questions you want to ask while I'm editing videos, that's fine. As installed my computer, so it means I'm still using Debian Docker images for this boost. Yes. You don't have to. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but I suggest you do anyway. If I would suggest installing Docker on your Debian, because learning Docker containers as a user is a part of this boost, because I believe it's a really fundamental, basic thing. Because you can try Arch Linux, you can do all kinds of stuff just by having Docker on your system. So Jan, go to rdbx/boost on GitHub, and that's where we're doing everything. We got through essentials. So learning how to learn is going to be all day tomorrow. It sounds like all day tomorrow is going to be learning how to learn. Maybe even 2 days. Maybe even 2 days on that. So this is day 0. so there. So yeah, I think, I guess I'm going to go ahead and I don't know how many. Hi, Pyros. Thanks for the follow. I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream right now so that we have a nice clean VOD, so that people don't have to watch me messing around with videos and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream for the evening, and I'm going to eat some sauerkraut and kielbasa. I'll be back in about 20 minutes. We will learn Tmugs. I'll be back in about 10-20 minutes, and I'll be editing videos live. And if you want to ask questions, or if I miss something, you can ask questions while I'm editing videos. I don't mind you watching me do that. But there's a lot of other really great people. In fact, before I go, let's do a good old fashioned raid with our big old crowd here today, and we can go find somebody fun to raid. And let's see who's worthy for raiding. Actually, I like raiding anyone. I don't really care if they're worthy. I just do just like that. Never use Gmail. Yeah, well, you know. Is Stringer on? Oh, but Bash Bunny's on. She's awesome too. Let's give her a raid. I haven't raided her in a while. And she's learning Go, so let's give her a raid. She probably doesn't need a raid, but I like to keep it real. Yeah, I like Stringer a lot too. I rated him recently though, so I want to try to spread it. If that's okay. Plus, she's learning Go, man. Why doesn't it find her though? That's weird. Does she not have raids on? I put the at in there. I can never get this to work. Am I not following her? No, I am, right? I think she has raids turned off. See you guys. I think you do need the at, don't you? Oh, wait. There you go. That was weird. All right. I'm not going to be talking to you. I'm going to be eating. So please say hi for me, okay? Can you guys please do that? Because I won't be around. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you tomorrow.